Welcome to G Fun Facts Online, the show that dives deep into the most fascinating stories from the world of science. Today, we're venturing into the heart of the Amazon, a world of labyrinthine rivers and unparalleled biodiversity, to uncover a story of a giant that has been hiding in plain sight. Imagine a snake of mythical proportions, a predator so large it has fueled legends for centuries. Now, what if I told you that science has just officially met this giant for the first time? This is the incredible story of the discovery of the northern green anaconda, a new species that is rewriting our understanding of the Amazon's apex predators. It's a tale that weaves together indigenous wisdom, cutting-edge genetics, and even a little bit of Hollywood star power. Deep within the Amazon, for nearly 2 decades, a team of international researchers has been on a quest. Led by Professor Brian Fry from the University of Queensland and Dr. Jesus Rivas, one of the world's foremost anaconda experts, this team has been meticulously studying these massive snakes across South America. Their goal was to untangle the evolutionary family tree of these aquatic giants. The breakthrough moment came in 2022. The team received a rare and vital invitation from the Waorani people to enter the Bameno region of their territory in the Ecuadorian Amazon. For generations, the Waorani had spoken of anacondas far larger than any officially recorded by science. This wasn't just a scientific expedition. It became a true cross-cultural collaboration. The team was joined by a film crew for the National Geographic series Pole to Pole with Will Smith, but the real stars of the show were the Waorani guides, Pentti Baihua and his son, Marcelo Tepena Baihua. Their ancestral knowledge of the forest was the key. For 10 days, they paddled through winding river systems, with the Waorani pointing out the shallows where these sacred serpents lie in wait for their prey. Their intimate understanding of the anaconda's behavior led the researchers directly to several of these magnificent creatures. The collaboration was so profound that the Waorani guides were rightfully named as co-authors on the scientific paper that announced the new species to the world. And the snakes they found were simply staggering. One female measured an incredible 6.3 meters, or just over 20 feet long. But according to the Waorani, that's not even the upper limit. Their anecdotal reports speak of individuals surpassing 7.5 meters, or nearly 25 feet, and weighing around 500 kilograms, or 1,100 pounds. Legends of giant snakes were suddenly being taken very seriously by the scientific community. But the most shocking revelation wasn't just their size. It was hidden in their DNA. For years, scientists believed there was only one species of green anaconda, known as Eunectes murinus. But when the researchers analyzed the genetic samples from the snakes in the north, they found something astounding. The green anaconda is actually 2 distinct species. The newly identified species, found in the northern parts of the Amazon basin, is genetically different from its southern cousin by 5.5%. Now, 5.5% might not sound like a huge number, but let me put that into perspective for you. The genetic difference between humans and our closest living relatives, chimpanzees, is only about 2%. A 5.5% divergence is a massive genetic gap. It suggests that these 2 anaconda species went their separate evolutionary ways almost 10 million years ago. Despite this vast genetic canyon between them, the northern and southern green anacondas are what scientists call cryptic species. This means that, to the naked eye, they look almost identical. There are no obvious stripes, spots, or colors that you can use to easily tell them apart. It's a perfect example of how looks can be deceiving in the natural world. In honor of the indigenous people who made the discovery possible, the new species was given the name Eunectes acaima. The name acaima comes from the local Carib languages and simply means the great snake. A fitting tribute, I think you'll agree. While they look the same, a follow-up study did find one subtle but interesting difference. It has to do with something called sexual size dimorphism, which is the size difference between males and females of a species. In the southern green anaconda, only a few rare females grow to be larger than the biggest males. But in the new northern species, Eunectes akayima, most females are longer than the longest males, suggesting the size difference between the sexes is much more pronounced. So where does this new species fit into the Anaconda family tree? The genus Eunectes is a group of large, semi-aquatic snakes, perfectly adapted for life in the rivers and wetlands of South America. Their eyes and nostrils are perched on top of their heads, allowing them to remain almost completely submerged while stalking prey. Before this discovery, we recognized 4 species. First, the green anaconda, which we now call the southern green anaconda. Second, the smaller yellow anaconda. Third, the dark-spotted anaconda from northeastern South America. And fourth, the Beni anaconda, found only in the Beni region of Bolivia. Interestingly, the same study that identified Akayima also suggested that the yellow, dark-spotted, and Beni anacondas are all so genetically similar that they should probably be considered a single species. So this research didn't just add a new branch to the anaconda family tree, it might also prune a few others. Now, a discovery this monumental rarely happens without a bit of drama, and this story is no exception. Science is a rigorous, self-correcting process, and a storm of controversy quickly brewed in the scientific community. Shortly after the initial announcement in February 2024, 2 different teams of scientists published critiques questioning the new species. The main arguments centered on 2 things. First, technical naming rules. The critics argued that the name Eunectes akayima was what's called a nomen nudum, a naked name, because the original paper didn't include a sufficiently detailed formal description to satisfy the strict international rules of zoological nomenclature. Second, they questioned the evidence. Was a 5.5% difference in mitochondrial DNA enough on its own to declare a new species, especially when the animals look identical? They argued that more evidence, like an analysis of nuclear DNA, was needed. This kind of debate is healthy for science. In July 2024, the original research team, led by Dr. Rivas, published a detailed follow-up paper. They addressed the criticisms head-on, formally redescribing Eunectes akayima to meet the strict naming codes. They also presented their new data on the differences in sexual size dimorphism as further evidence that these are, in fact, 2 distinct species. This back and forth highlights how seriously scientists take the task of classifying life on Earth. But this story is about so much more than genetics and taxonomy. We have to return to the Waorani people. For them, the anaconda is not just another animal in the forest. It is a sacred being, a figure of power and reverence that is woven into the fabric of their culture and spirituality. They don't fear these giants. They coexist with them, understanding their movements and their vital role in the ecosystem. This deep cultural connection is a major reason why their territory has remained a sanctuary for these magnificent snakes. The trust they placed in the scientists was a sharing of their world, a hope that modern science could help protect their sacred animal and their home. And that protection is urgently needed. Anacondas are apex predators. They sit at the very top of the food chain, controlling populations of caimans, deer, capybaras, and other animals. This makes them an indicator species. The health of the anaconda population is a direct reflection of the health of the entire Amazon ecosystem. And right now, that ecosystem is in critical condition. The home of the northern green anaconda is facing unprecedented threats. Deforestation for cattle ranching and agriculture is destroying their habitat at an alarming rate. Perhaps even more concerning is the threat of oil exploration. The Yasuni National Park, a core part of the northern green anaconda's range and one of the most biodiverse places on Earth, is tragically rich in oil reserves. Oil roads fragment the forest, and spills can have devastating, long-lasting consequences for the aquatic environments that anacondas depend on. Pollution from mining and agriculture also leaks heavy metals into the waterways, threatening the health and reproduction of all aquatic life. As Professor Fry has stressed, there is an urgent need for more research to understand how these threats are specifically impacting this newly identified species. We've only just met them, and we could be at risk of losing them. The discovery of Eunectes akayima, the northern green anaconda, is a powerful story for our time. It's a reminder that our planet is still full of wonders waiting to be found, of giants swimming silently through murky waters, unknown to science. It underscores the irreplaceable value of indigenous knowledge and the power of collaboration. This giant of the Amazon has emerged from the depths not as a monster from a horror film, but as a symbol of the breathtaking biodiversity that is so incredibly fragile. Its discovery is a wake-up call, a plea from the heart of the planet, urging us to redouble our efforts to protect the Amazon and the magnificent creatures that call it home. There are still giants in our world, and it's our shared responsibility to make sure they have a future. Thanks for tuning in to G Fun Facts Online. Join us next time as we explore another amazing story from the world around us.